Hey everybody.
Hey everybody, Fast Five, let's go.
In 4 years, the Saints' 2016 draft will be blank.
It will be the core of the team, and I'll tell you why. They got rid of the scouts that had a string of awful drafts. You look at the 2015 draft, a lot of early production, and I think the 6 players that they get this week, and they'll have drafted a lot of them by the time many of you are watching this, I think a couple years from now they'll be the core of the team.
I think the 2016 draft will be, in 4 years, something that we look back on as another Saints failure.
The worst Saints draft in history is blank.
You know, you could go ahead and actually point to a lot of them, and really...
So many choices.
Yeah, so many choices. And most of the time when we look at a draft, you look at the number 1 pick, but if you're going to take an entire draft, I'm going with the Ricky Williams draft, because they got Ricky Williams. It was the only pick they got.
They did. They really mortgaged their future. But the reason I'm not going there is because they probably would have screwed up the rest of the draft anyway. And Ricky wasn't a bad player. He was only there 3 years, but they traded him, got a couple of picks for him. Well, you do that a little too good there, Jay.
What?
And so I'm going to go recent.
Hey,
because
that's a far out shirt
recently,
you got on, dude.
I think everybody just needs to relax.
Okay.
Dude, just relax.
I'm relaxed, man.
The 2014 draft, you had a bunch of guys. You'd already had some bad free agent signings, and you have one guy still on your team. That was 2 years ago. Not only that, the other guys you drafted, none of them today are on an active 53-man roster other than your first pick, Brandon Cook. So as you said, you usually think about that first-round pick. Look at the rest of the draft. God, that was bad.
Mm-hmm. True or false? By the end of the regular season, the Ragin' Cajun baseball team's RPI will be in the top 16.
True. True. That game at Houston's going to help a little bit. The RPI is in the top 16 right now, and I think if they continue to have some, 3-1, 4-1 type weeks, I think they can do it.
I'm going to say false, and I think the thing that's going to get them are a couple of the other teams they played. They have 6 games left against Appalachian State and UL Monroe. Both of those teams are way under 500. Even if you beat those teams, your RPI takes a hit. In order for the Cajuns to counterbalance that, they'd have to win almost all of them the rest of the way out. I'm going to say false, but through no fault of their own, the schedule's going to get them down the stretch.
What's the biggest story of the NBA playoffs thus far?
Injuries. Whether you're talking about the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry, or you're talking about the Clippers with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin.
Clippers.
Right now, injuries are the story.
No doubt. It opens up the door a little bit. Meanwhile, Greg Popovich is just sitting there with his... What is it? Is it Kermit the Frog with tea? Is that the meme?
Okay, Kermit with tea or Pop with
He likes red wine.
A delicious Merlot.
A delicious Merlot. I'm more of a Pinot Noir type.
So am I, actually.
Pinot Noir, Roseanne Barr.
If a draft for the best Cajun food took place, what dish would you take with the number 1 overall pick?
Oh boy, kind of like bad Saints drafts. There's an endless amount here, and I don't know that there's a wrong answer. I'm going to say boiled crawfish straight up because it's my favorite food in the world. But like I said, there are a lot of right answers.
Yeah, I'm going to say gumbo, and the reason that I'm going to say gumbo, I was talking to the guys from Boise State on their radio show a day or two ago, and
What did they call you?
Jay Weaver.
Jay Weaver with us.
That's right, and we were talking about tailgating and stuff, and he said, well, what are they going to be cooking? And I said, probably not gumbo, because it's going to be like the first Saturday in September. And they said, oh no, man, you got to have gumbo. So I think that's kind of the way other folks look at us. So I'm going with gumbo as a result. Only because they don't know what boudin is.
I'll take it all. Give it all to me. Are we done?
I think so.
We're done. That's it for Fast Five. Happy draft, everybody.